Hello again, today we're in Puerto de Santa Maria in southern Spain and we're about to visit arguably the city's greatest tourist attraction, the Castle of San Marcos. Situated in the heart of El Puerto, the castle is a well-preserved medieval fortress blending Roman, Islamic and Christian architectural styles. Since 1959, the castle has been owned by the Caballero Group and has served as the company's institutional headquarters. They've invested in restorations and preservation efforts, integrating it with their adjacent winery operations, and it's open to visit to look around, as well as being used as an operational bodega and for events to promote their wines and cherries. Today though, we're here to look around and find out about the castle's history, so we'll head to the ticket counter to pay the entry fee. We visited in 2025 when an adult ticket cost €10. For this you got entry into the castle grounds and interior, and you also got access to a free audio guide on your phone. You were free to look around and spend as long as you liked there, and also you could see into the Caballero Bodega. So we're starting our tour on ground level before heading up onto the battlements. So a little history of the castle as we go around. A structure has been here on the site from as far back as the 1st century BC to around the 2nd century AD, as Santa Maria used to be a Roman settlement called Hortus Gaditanus. Archaeological remains found here, such as some of the building's foundations, have been identified as coming from that period. However, probably the most defining period was the Andalusian period, when the area was under Islamic rule. During this time, a caliphal mosque was constructed on the site, and parts of that mosque, such as the qibla walls, survive, having been incorporated into later structures. We'll see a bit of that in this video. But for now, we're wandering around the exterior of the castle buildings in the fortified courtyard area, and as we go, we're free to take our time and listen to the audio guide that accompanies us. But there's no escaping the modern influence of Caballero as we pass a stack of barrels, and later in this video we'll head inside a bodega right here in the castle complex. But for now it's time for a significant historical change for the building. In 1264, during the Christian conquest, King Alfonso X of Castile conquered the area and did away with Muslim rule. He ordered the conversion of the mosque into a fortified church dedicated to Santa Maria, which resulted in a blend of military defences and religious architecture. The structure became a symbol of Christian reconquest, with remnants of the original chapel still visible today. Architectural features from this period include fortified walls and elements adapted from the mosque. And as we look at the exterior of the castle, you can see the different types of rock used in its construction, from the bottom to the top. Oh, and you'll notice the words on the exterior of the towers. We'll take a closer look at them in a bit. During the 15th to 16th centuries, the castle underwent significant renovations. These included the addition of an exterior wall which enhanced its defensive capabilities, and the addition of the church's sacristy. Plus it was being used as a seat of power for the house of Medinaceli, who had built up their estate in the area. One benefit of this power and base of operations was that it was a great base for naval and commercial activities, including expeditions across the Atlantic. Yes, I'm talking mostly about Columbus. See, around 1485 to 1486 thereabouts, he had failed to gain backing in Portugal for his idea of exploration, and so he travelled a little way along the coast here to Andalusia to seek support from Spanish nobles. He found a patron in the form of the then occupier of the castle, Juan de la Cerda, who was the second Duke of Medinaceli. Columbus was allowed to stay here, and Juan even arranged for Columbus to present his project to Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand. Initially he wasn't successful, but persistence pays off, and he eventually got the support he needed to set off on his first voyage in 1492, where he went on an all-inclusive holiday to the Caribbean islands, something like that. Anyway, back to the castle, and you'll see now we've been right around the exterior and are looking around the interior. There's undeniable influence of Islamic art and architecture here, which has been blended into traditional Christian styles and symbolism. It's a really awe-inspiring interior and the highlight of the visit for sure. We're going to head outside again and up onto the roof of the castle to continue our visit. During the Age of Discovery through to the 17th century, the castle remains a significant landmark that symbolised the town's strategic importance, and it likely served as a residence or administrative centre for local nobility. But there seemed to be no additional construction or changes through these years. However, there was to be some in more modern times, and I'll come on to that in a bit. By the early 19th century, the castle had fallen into disrepair due to reduced strategic importance and lack of maintenance. The Napoleonic Wars and political instability in Spain likely contributed to neglect, as resources were diverted elsewhere. The castle, while still standing, was not a priority for restoration during this turbulent period. Up here on the roof you can see the towers in more detail, but only one of them is open to visitors to climb up inside. And what a climb it is. The stairs start off narrow and then get really narrow. It was a real squeeze to get up, and especially getting down. But from the top of the tower you get great views of the city, and you can see the other towers closely as well. In 1920, it was declared a national monument by the Spanish government. This status was part of a broader effort to safeguard Spain's architectural and historical treasures, acknowledging the castle's unique blend of Roman, Islamic and Christian elements, as well as its association with key historical figures like Alfonso X and explorer like Christopher Columbus and Juan de la Cosa. This designation meant there were some initial efforts to stabilise the castle's condition, though major restoration work did not occur immediately. And yes, what about those words around the tops of the towers? These were actually added around 1943, when the castle underwent a significant restoration. The painted Gothic style inscriptions are meant to unify the Islamic and Christian architectural elements, and as well as those additions, the towers were actually heightened during this time to apparently enhance their grandeur. Restoration work today is not done this way, but the changes in 1943 did help to stabilise the castle and preserve it for future generations, even if it does represent kind of a bit of a fairy tale. Anyway, let's squeeze our way back down all the way to the ground floor and we'll head to the castle's winery. So here we are in the winery where Caballero produce sherry in these barrels. It's not the only place that Caballero operate, but here at the castle they create the group's finest sherries, such as Amontillado del Castillo. This space also regularly hosts special events, and of course you can opt for a tasting tour where you can sample some of their sherries in the special bar at the castle. We hadn't arranged a tasting tour on our visit and we were happy just to look around the castle, and yet we were still free to wander around this area of the castle as well. With that, our visit to the castle was over and we made our way out. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video somewhere else in the world. See ya!